Welcome, respected friends. We are studying Yoga Vaashishtha Maha Ramayanam, third Utpatthi Prakaranam Leelopakhyanam. Regarding the entire gamut that is happening, both at the micro level in our own thought sankalpas, so to at the macro level. Each of these knowledges with our antakarana shuddhi, shuddha antakarana, with our sukshma buddhi, if we are able to catch or grasp, and according to that knowledge, if we change our drishti, all the bondages born out of misunderstandings, confusions, they get totally dismantled only. That is the purpose of all these shastras. So beautiful. Now, we took good amount of 10-12 days to try to study the 54th Sarga. So many things, and all these require repeated studies, many a times manana chintana, then only the understandings will dawn. In our these classes, our success is in having an idea that this is how these shastras guide us. Our success is in our finding interest in adhyatmikata, and our success will be considered when through the study of Shastra, I can have Adhyatmika Jnana. Through the Adhyatmika Sadhana, I can get what I want, called as Shashwata Nitya Ananda. If this you gain it, I gain it, success for our classes. Once that happens, then the actual journey begins, wherein slowly we wean away, withdraw from all the unnecessary, unwanted, definitely binding pravrutti into necessary, liberating Paramatma Prapti Rupi Nivrutti Marg. Thus, our true journey when it starts, en route, yes. Take the help of Guru God Shastras, counter or cross or succeed in eliminating all the obstacles, keep on traveling and reaching out. But Shraddha in Shastra, Shraddha in Tattva, Shraddha in Adhyatmika Sadhana and Jnana. If that is created somehow, our classes are successful. More than that, by these classes, you will definitely get moksha. That assurance is given because Shastra ka uddesh wahi hai. But these classes are necessary but not sufficient things. Allowing classes, manana, chintana, sadhana, not only to you, to me as a speaker, also required. Okay, now let us enter into the 55th Sarga today, which also has got around 70 or 73 mantras. Here also, Jiva Samsara, Gati, and then Marana, and then about the Ishvara. Very sweetly, our Leela asks the questions, Mother Saraswati answers. Let us try to focusedly study, listen, try to understand these knowledges given, each of which, when understood and used, are great breakthroughs. They are the ones which dissolve many of problems because they teach us that there is no problem to be solved at all. It's only the misunderstanding which is projecting the problem. Correct the misunderstanding with the correct understanding. Problem is not projected. Non-projecting the problem is the dissolution of the problem. Once it is projected, when we struggle to solve it. Vedanta, by dissolving the problem projection, it eliminates them permanently. In Vyavahara, we try to solve problems. In every solution, again there is a hidden problem rising. May these theoretically heard things be felt by us sincerely by our intellectual understandings. Let us start with our Mangalacharana shlokas like every day and like every time. The entire Pachpan 55th beautiful Sarga we will chant, we start studying it. May the Lord give both you and me all the bhakti required, shraddha required, shakti required, ekagrata required, sukshmata required, time required for this study to happen successfully, fruitfully, blissfully, joyfully. Especially in this sarga, more clearly the subject is discussed. Luckily, such a subject we might have studied in other shastras also, it becomes helpful. देखते हैं क्या है. With open mind and heart, bring that patience, even though in today's Kali Yuga, because of million distractions, the human beings have lost the ability to focus on anything for more than even 20 seconds. The number of advertisements we see, number of the TV programs and all of that we see, number of the variety of newly developed things we see, per minute 10 of them, 10 seconds each one, our minds got habituated to be restlessly jumping from one to the other. The most tragic thing that's happening in the modern world. In such terrible, dire situation, focusing consistently for such an amount of time, that too in listening the Tattva Jnana, is a Maha Tapasya, is a very terrible pain and struggle. Yet, for human being in any yoga, the redemption moksha is only by the Tattva Jnana. Therefore, with whatever the dukkha pain it may appear to be, still we have no other way than to listen, study Shastras, understand Tattva, do sadhana, reach to this reality, get moksha. By the way, one thing is said without directly saying, protect yourself, your antakarana, from getting spoiled, destroyed, and becoming incapable for adhyatmika journey. The bhuta, the preta, the dushta rakshasa, called as the outer world of materialism, has that capacity to destroy the pure our intellect and heart, whose job is to pursue the reality. मनुष्यों के दिल दिमाग और मन को पूरा कैंसरस बनाकर खोखला बनाकर सत्यानाश आज का जगत कर रहा है. जिसने समझा वो अपने आप को बचाता है. वही हाउ बचाना? डोंट गो एनीवेयर, जस्ट स्टडी योर शास्त्र, डू योर साधना, इजेक्ट आउट. Otherwise, already Lord created Maya. In that, we have already created Maya. In that Maya, again, the variety of terrible, the technological Maya, in whose shackles or chains, if we come, we cannot come out of it. Let us not involve in it. We know only two things. I have to survive and I have to fulfill my survival for spiritual evolution. So, what is minimum required for my survival? In that much only I involve in the world. Rest all, only the pursuit of ultimate. The ones to whom this has clicked, he is full in his Viveka Vairagya and Mumukshata. Such persons, all sadhanas of controlling the faculties will be successful, and the controlled faculties applying for the Shastra Shravana Dhyana will be successful. And with the studied Shastra Jnana, when the sadhana is done, outer and inner, those sadhanas also will be fruitful for that by choice lucky person. Om 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 Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. Om Yairime Gurubihi Purvam Padavakya Pramanatah Vyakhyataha Sarva Vedantaha Satchastraha Tan Nityam Pranatosmyaham. Om Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulям Ramanama Varanane. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे श्री वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वामदेव वेदव्यास नारद आदि सरस्वती मातु आदि समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्राणाम आचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषद योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुति स्मृति पुराण इतिहास संतवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थम तत्रोक्त ऋषि मुनि गुरु देवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थम सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थम धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हैंदव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शन दृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभाति अवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। ॐ सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नता स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरभिकलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृत जलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणे लीलोपाख्याने जीव संसार मरण गति वर्णन नाम पंचपंचाशत्तमः सर्गः। Shall we chant it? ओम अथ पंचपंचाशत्तमः सर्गः। प्रबुद्धलीला उवाच यथैव जन्तुर्म्रियते जायते च यथा पुनः तन्मे कथय देवेशि पुनर्बोधविवृद्धये। श्रीदेव्युवाच नाडी प्रवाहे विधुरे यदा वातविसंस्थितिं जन्तुः प्राप्नोति तदा शाम्यति वास्य चेतना शुद्धं हि चेतनं नित्यं नोदेति न च शाम्यति स्थावरे जङ्गमे व्योम्नि शैलेऽग्नौ पावने स्थितम् केवलं वातसंरोधाद् यदा स्पन्दः प्रशाम्यति मृत इत्युच्यते देहः तदासौ जडनामकः तस्मिन् देहे शवीभूते वाते चानिलतां गते चेतनं वासनामुक्तं स्वात्मतत्त्वेव तिष्ठति जीव इति उच्यते तस्य नामाणोर्वासनावतः तत्रैवास्ते स च तत्रैवास्ते स च शवा आगारे गगनके तथा ततोऽसौ प्रेतशब्देन प्रोच्यते व्यवहारिभिः चेतनं वासनामिश्रम् आमोदानिलवत् स्थितम् शम्भो शङ्कर पाहि प्रभु इदं दृश्यं परित्यज्य यदास्ते दर्शनान्तरे स्वसप्न इव सङ्कल्प इव नानाकृतिस्तदा जय राम जय रघुराम सीताराम श्री रघुराम इदं दृश्यं परित्यज्य यदास्ते दर्शनान्तरे स्वस्वप्नैव सङ्कल्प इव नानाकृतिस्तदा तस्मिन्नेव प्रदेशेऽन्तः पूर्ववत् स्मृतिमान् भवेत् तदैव मूर्तिमूर्च्छान्ते पश्यत्यन्यशरीरकम् आत्मन्यस्ति घटापुष्टम् अन्यस्य व्योम केवलम् आकाशभूतले साकं साकाशशशिवासरम् भवन्ति षड्विधाः प्रेताः तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु सामान्यपापिनो मध्य पापिनः स्थूलपापिनः सामान्यधर्मा मध्यम धर्मा चोत्तमधर्मवान् एतेषां कस्यचित् भेदः द्वौ त्रयोऽप्यथ कस्यचित् कश्चित् महापातकवान् वत्सरं स्मृतिमूर्छनं विमूढोऽनुभवत्यन्तः हृदयोपमः ततः कालेन सम्बुद्धः वासनाजठरोदितम् अनुभूय चिरं कालं नारकं दुःखमक्षयं भुक्त्वा योनिशतान्युच्चैर्दुःखात् दुःखतरङ्गतः कदाचित् शममायाति संसारस्वप्नसम्भ्रमे अथवा मृतिमोहान्ते जडदुःखशताकुलां क्षणात् नारायण क्षणाद् वृक्षादितामेव हृस्ताम् अनुभवन्ति ते स्ववासनानुरूपाणि दुःखानि नरके पुनः अनुभूयाथ योनिषु जायन्ते भूतले चिरात् अथ मध्यमपापो यो वृत्तिमोहादनन्तरं सशिलाजठरं जाड्यं कञ्चित् कालं प्रपश्यति ततः प्रबुद्धः कालेन केनचिद्वा तदैव वा तिर्यगादिक्रमैर्भुक्त्वा योनिः संसारमेष्यति मृतैवानुभवति कच्चित् सामान्यपातकी स्ववासनानुसारेण देहं सम्पन्नमक्षतं सस्वप्न इव सङ्कल्प इव चेतति तादृशं तस्मिन्नेव क्षणे तस्य स्मृतिरित्थमुदेति च ये तु उत्तममहापुण्या मृतिमोहादनन्तरं स्वर्गविद्याधरपुरं स्मृत्या स्वानुभवन्ति ते ततोऽन्यकर्मसदृशं भुक्त्वान्यत्रं फलं निजं जायन्ते मानुषे लोके सश्रीके सज्जनास्पदे ये च मध्यमधर्माणः वृतिमोहादनन्तरं ते व्योमवायुवलिताः प्रयान्त्योषधिपल्लवं तत्र चारुफलं भुक्त्वा प्रविश्य हृदयं नृणां रेतसामधितिष्ठन्ति गर्भे जातिक्रमोचिते सुवासनानुसारेण प्रेता एतां व्यवस्थितिं भवन्त्यन्तः क्रमेणैवाक्रमेण च आदौ मृता वयमिति बुध्यन्ते तदनुक्रमात् पिण्डादिदानेन प्रोत्पन्ना इति वेदिनः ततो यमभटा एते कालपाशान्विता इति नीयमानः प्रयाम्येभिः क्रमात् यमपुरं तिथि उद्यानानि विमानानि शोभनानि पुनः पुनः स्वकर्मभिरुपात्तानि दिव्यानीत्येव पुण्यवान् इमानि कण्टकशुभ्र शस्त्रपत्रवनानि च स्वकर्मदुष्कृतोत्थानि सम्प्राप्तानीति पापवान् इयं मे सौम्य संपाता सरणिः शीतशाद्वला स्निग्धच्छाया सवापीका पुरः संस्थेति मध्यमः अयं प्राप्तो यमपुरम् अहमेष स भूतपः अयं कर्म विचारोऽत्र कृत इत्यनुभूतिमान् इति प्रत्येकमभ्येति पृथुः संसारखण्डकः यथा संस्थितनिःशेष पदार्थाचारभासुरः आकाशैव निःशून्ये शून्यात्मैव विबोधवान् देशकालक्रियादैर्घ्य भासुरोऽपि न किञ्चन इतोऽयमहमादिष्टः स्वकर्मफलभोजने गच्छामि आशु शुभं स्वर्गम् इतो नरकमेव च यः स्वर्गोऽयं मया भुक्तः भुक्तोऽयं नरकोऽथवा इमास्ता योनयो भुक्ता जायेऽहं संसृतौ पुनः अयं शालिरहं जातः क्रमात् फलमहं स्थितः इति उदर्कप्रबोधेन बुध्यमानो भविष्यति संसुप्तकर्णस्त्वेवं बीजतां यात्यसौ नरे तद्बीजं योनिगलितं गर्भो भवति मातरि स गर्भो जायते लोके पूर्वकर्मानुसारतः भव्यो भवत्यभव्यो वा बालको ललिताकृतिः भवतीन्द्वाभं यौवनं मदनोन्मुखं ततो जरां पञ्चमुखे हिमाशनिमिवच्युतां ततोऽपि व्याधिमरणं पुनर्मरणमूर्छनां पुनः स्वप्नवदायातं पिण्डैर्देहपरिग्रहं याम्यं याति पुनर्लोकं पुनरेव भ्रमक्रमं भूयो भूयोऽनुभवति नानायोन्यन्तरोदये इति आजवं जवीभावम् आमोक्षम् अतिभासुरं भूयो भूयोऽनुभवति व्योम्न्येव व्योमरूपवान् प्रबुद्धलीलोवाच आदिसर्गे यथा देवी भ्रम एव एष प्रवर्तते तथा कथय मे भूयः प्रसादात् बोधवृद्धये श्रीदेव्युवाच परमार्थगनं शैलाः परमार्थघनं द्रुमाः परमार्थघनं पृथ्वी परमार्थघनं नवः सर्वात्मकत्वात् स यतोदेति चिदीश्वरः परमाकाशशुद्धात्मा तत्र तत्र भवेत् तथा सर्गादौ स्वप्नपुरुष न्यायेनादिप्रजापतिः यथा स्फुटं प्रकटितः तथाद्यापि स्थिता स्थितिः प्रथमोऽसौ प्रतिस्पन्दः पदार्थानां हि बिम्बकं प्रतिबिम्बितमेतस्मात् यत्तदद्यापि संस्थितं यन्नाम सुशिरं स्थानं देहानां तद्गतो निलः करोत्यङ्गपरिस्पन्दं जीवतीत्युच्यते ततः सर्गादावेवमेवैषा जङ्गमेषु स्थिता स्थितिः चेतना अपि निस्पन्दाः तेनैते पादपादयः चिदाकाशोऽयमेवांशं कुरुते चेतनोदितं स एव संविद्भवति शेषं भवति नैव तत् नरोपाधिपुरं प्राप्तं चेतत्यक्षिपुटं नयतु तत्तस्यानाक्षिषिज्जीवं नो जीवत्येव सर्गतः तथा खं खं तथा भूमिर्भूमित्वेनाप्तुवज्जलं यद्यथा चेतति स्वैरं तद्वेत्येव तथा वपुः इति सर्वशरीरेण जङ्गमत्वेन जङ्गमं स्थावरं स्थावरत्वेन सर्वात्मा भावयन् स्थितः तस्मात् यज्जङ्गमं नाम तत्स्वबोधनरूपवत् तेन बुद्धं ततस्तद्वत् तदेवाद्यापि संस्थितं यद् वृक्षाभिगमधमाबुद् यद्वृक्षाभिधम् आबुद्धं स्थावरत्वेन वै पुनः जडमद्यापि संसिद्धं शिलातरुतृणादि च न तु जाड्यं पृथक् किञ्चित् अस्ति नापि च चेतनं नात्र भेदोऽस्ति सर्गादौ सत्ता सामान्यकेन च वृक्षाणामुपलानां या नामान्तस्थाः स्वसंविदः बुद्ध्यादिवेदान्येव तानि तेषामिति स्थितिः विदोऽन्तस्तावरादेर्याः तस्या बुद्ध्यास्तथा स्थितेः अन्याविधानास्थानार्थाः सङ्केतैरपरैः स्थिताः कृमिकीटपतङ्गानां या नामान्तस्वसंविदः तान्येव तेषां बुद्ध्यादीनि अभिधार्तानि कानिचित् न किञ्चिदपि यतोत्तराब्धिजनता दक्षिणाब्धिजनं स्थितं न किञ्चिदपि जानाति न निजसंवेदनादृते स्वसंज्ञानुभवे लीनाः तथा स्थावरजङ्गमाः परस्परं यदा सर्वे स्वसङ्केतपरायणाः यथा शिलान्तस्थंस्थानां बहिष्ठानां च वेदनम् असज्जडं च भेकानां मितोऽन्तस्तस्तु शां तथा सर्वं सर्वगतं चित्तं चिद्व्योम्ना यत्प्रचेतितं सर्गादौ चोपनं वायुः स इहाद्यापि संस्थितः चेतितं यत्तु सौशीर्यं तन्नभस्तत्र मारुतः स्पन्दात्मेत्यादिसर्गेह पदार्थेष्विव चोपनं चित्तं तु परमार्थेन स्थावरे जङ्गमे स्थितं चोपनान्यनिलैरेव भवन्ति न भवन्ति च एवं भ्रान्तिमये विश्वे पदार्थाः संविदंशवः सर्गादिषु यथैवासन् तथैवाद्यापि संस्थिताः यथा विश्वपदार्थानां स्वभावस्य विजृम्भितम् असत्यमेव सत्यावं तदेतत् कथितं तव अयमस्तं गतः प्रायः पश्य राजा विदूरतः मालाशवस्य पद्मस्य पत्युस्ते याति हृद्गतं प्रबुद्धलीलोवाच केन मार्गेण देवेशि यात्येष शवमण्डपं येन मे वाशु पश्यन्त्यावु आवां गच्छाव उत्तमे श्रीदेव्युवाच मनुष्यवासनान्तस्तं मार्गमाश्रित्य गच्छति एषोऽहमपरं लोकं दूरं यामीति चिन्मयः मार्गेणैव मनेनैव यावस्तेयेन सम्मतं परस्परेच्छाविच्छित्तिर्नैः सौहार्दबन्धने श्रीवसिष्ठ उवाच इति विहतकथागतक्लमायां परमदृशिप्रसृते विबोधभानौ नृपतिवरसुतामनस्युदारे विगलितचित्तजडो विदूरथोऽभूत् इति आर्षे श्रीवासिष्ठमहारामायणे वाल्मीकिये उत्पत्तिप्रकरणे मोक्षोपाये लीलोपाख्याने संसारवर्णावस्थावर्णनं नाम पञ्चपञ्चाशत्तमः सर्गः श्रीराम जय जय राम 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 जय राम जय राम ओम श्रीराम शरणं मम श्रीरामायण शरणं मम श्रीवसिष्ठ शरणं मम Shri Vishwamitra Sharanam Mama, Shri Valmiki Sharanam Mama, Shri Saraswati Sharanam Mama, Shri Vyasa Sharanam Mama, Shri Sadguru Sharanam Mama, Shri Rama Sharanam Mama, Shri Rama Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama. See that? See, this text is very new to me. We never studied. Not that other text we have studied. And then the Sanskrit Bhasha is Kathina. And the subject matter is so sublime, Vedanta, Brahmajnana, which where did we study in our school and colleges? Isn't it? And such a Sukshma, Shuddha Buddhi is required to comprehend, apprehend every aspect of it. And I tell you, confessing is only gustaki of me to study, even to talk to you. Talking to you तो ही अल्टीमेट बट इवन पढ़ना भी कठिन है. उस दिन पता नहीं भाई, भगवान is playing this joke, मजाक with us, that he is making you and I sit every day together and go through this text. But राम भरोसे, for us, वशिष्ठ भरोसा है, तो something they are doing with us, some kindness, compassion, some गांठ खोल रहे हैं हमारे हृदय के, है ना? Some knots they are opening up, some paths they are making smooth, some of the what do you call thorns, etc. they are removing. Something the Ishvara is doing for us, like he does for everyone. For us, he is doing this way, this thing. The way is of studying the Shastras, and the thing is the spiritual unfoldment. And imagine if we, from our last few lives, through Viveka, Vairagya, Adi, Shamadavadi, and intense deep upasanas to Guru and God, by now, if we had got the Shuddha Antakarana along with Sadhana Chatushte Sampada Mastery, this whole knowledge would have really entered into us as we are studying only. Now we are missing it. Though we are trying to study, yet the essence we are not catching because of not prepared or qualified. So the two options are left for us now. One, therefore, drop the study of Shastras. Two, with commitment that what is said in the Shastras, have to understand, preparing ourselves in our Shuddhantakarana, Sukshmantakarana, Ekagra Shakti Yukta Antakarana. For that only the tapasyas, the japas, the upasanas, total withdrawal from the world, viveka vairagya. When all of that is done, Vaki our antakarana gets the required stability, stamina, purity to be able to grasp these higher knowledges. And as we said in the beginning and just now 4 minutes back, these knowledges are such a powerful medicines to remove our ignorance and delusion diseases. These knowledges are terrible or terrific, powerful weapons to destroy the Rakshasas of the misunderstandings and wrongdoings in us, like Lord Rama eliminated the Karadushana Trishira and the 14,000 Rakshasas. We are studying that text also no? After this. So, keeping all this in mind, what sankalpas we should do, what prayatnas we should do, what prarthanas we should do. Even if that maturity comes to us, we are on the path. है ना? All that sankalpa prarthana वही है. भगवान, give me all opportunities and abilities to do those things by which I become qualified to study these Shastras. With that qualification, let me relentlessly study Shastras. Let the Shastra study give me the pakka theoretical knowledge about the Lakshya Marga and Adhikaritva. With that knowledge, let me do all those are to be done to realize the Brahman, to realize the Chidakasha and get liberated from Jivadi Ajnana Janita Bandhana. है ना? ये बात हमारे दिमाग में बैठना है. उसको छोड़ोगे ना, फिर इन सच ए delusion of world is real, I am a jiva, my body is important for its sukha, I have to do this and that thing. In the totally deluded pagalpan we fall down. In this life, remember, the whole manushya jivana with all life itself is pagalpan. And in that you can see the world of beings in their own pagalpan lost as an example. है ना? The football premi lost in the football pagalpat. The खेलने वाले देखने वाले पता नहीं what is that they are deluded only because everything other than ब्रह्म ज्ञान is delusion. The cricket प्रेमी उसमें पागल हो गए. The political प्रेमी उसमें पागल हो गए. The राज्य महत्वाकांक्षी they are deluded in that. So to the people धन कांक्षा वाले in that and in various भोग वाले भोग में सुनने वाले सुनने का भोग खाने वाले खाने का भोग आंखों से देखने वाले उस भोग में. See how the jivas are deluded. Each have delusions. All put together is Maha delusion. In that way, each deluded being, individually, mutually, together projecting this entire delusory world. And all that is Ishvara's, you cannot call as delusion because he is not doing out of not knowing. He is doing everything with knowledge. Therefore, it is not called as delusion in his case. It is called as his Maya. With Maya, it is his Leela. For Ishvara, it is Maya Yukta Leela. For us, it is Avidya and delusion Yukta Samsara bondage and Bhatakna or wandering. Some are deluded in friends, some are in relations. Each one kind of कोई कुत्ते में deluded है. आप पूछो he will काटो, कुत्ता will not काटो. That much is deluded. Somebody deluded in cheating others, in troubling others. They are called Rakshasa type. Isn't it how the jivas are? May the Lord bless us with the correct knowledge. May we receive that knowledge. May we slowly, silently, steadily eject out of this gamut of outer and inner delusions. इतना deluding है, लगता तो सुंदर है, तो जाते रहो तो फंसते ही जाते हो और इतना फंस गए हाँ उससे निकलने को मुश्किल. The Shastra Jnana is antidote for that. If we can study and understand. And if you do the sadhana, permanent solution. Hope even this much is understood. Our Shastra Dhenam, especially of this Yoga Vaashishtha, is fulfilling. Maybe after 10,000 lives, second time we may get chance to study it, little better knowledge will have. In that way, whenever Ishwara Kripa is there and our sankalpas are there, that I can't wait for 10,000 lives. In this life only, I want to study thoroughly every portion right now only. With that Dudha Sankalpa, if one tries, he will be understanding everyday subject there and then. He will be opening up himself. His intellect is opening for the higher knowledges. Earlier it was closed because of its never putting these efforts and ever carried away in the delusions. हमेशा मोह में फंस के रहने के कारण इन चीजों के लिए एक्सपोज नहीं होने के कारण हमेशा ये बुद्धि हमारा इन विषयों के प्रति बंद ही होती थी. अब खुलेगी अगर हम खोलने देते हैं और खोलते हैं तो. मस्त मस्त. So here we are into 55th sarga, 55 of this Leelopakhyanam. I think 60 or 64 tak Leelopakhyanam is there. Maybe 60 or 61. Then the 5-6 sargas will be there to give us the fill up the blank, fill up the gap wala great knowledge. Again, I think I don't know how to say from 68 or so, Karkata Upakhyanam will start. Like this Leela Upakhyanam in this Leela Raja Padma. Leela Padma as Vaashishtha and Arundhati earlier. Leela Padma alone. Next May Leela continued. Padma became Viduratha. So while those stories are told, to Leela Mother Saraswati revealing all the Tattva Jnana. That's how it has become Leela Upakhyan. All Purana Itihasas, Smriti Granthas are like that only. This is one of the Smriti Grantha. In Purana, more story, through the story you are supposed to understand. In Smritis, less story, direct the points are told. In Shruti, no story, only the truth is revealed. लेकिन उपनिषद में ज्यादा कथाएं नहीं दिखते आपको. तत्व ज्ञान संबंधी प्रसंग. इट्स नॉट ए कथा, प्रसंग. Like Nachiketa Yamaraj. How precisely in 2-3 shlokas only the whole story is told. Story is not important. That much story also only to tell how greatly qualified Nachiketa is. उनके दिव्य शुभ लक्षणों को बताने के लिए वो थोड़ा सा स्टोरी बताएगी. His father was doing that yajna. He was hiding good cows and giving all bad cows. Nachiketa asked, whom are you giving me? And I am giving to Yamaraj. That's all the story. उसके बाद everything is ब्रह्म ज्ञान only. उसके बाद इनको पिता को क्या हुआ ये वो चिंता ही नहीं है. In Smriti Granthas like these things, there will be some references of Upakhyanas. But more is on the subject matter. Purana Itihasa, more and more stories only. That stories have to be studied by us, keeping in mind these lessons of Shruti Smriti to understand. So Shruti Smriti Ukta Tattvajnana Vyavaharika Jnana प्रैक्टिकली हमें दिखाने के लिए पुराना इतिहास होते हैं. We have to study all of them. We have started it, and if we don't give up, life by life, our capacities will grow. Imagine yourself, this life we are at this level. अभी घमासान संकल्प करके कि next life, very first 10-20 years only, I will thoroughly study entire grammar, Vyakarana, Sanskrita. Because of lack of Sanskrit only, you and I are struggling so much to understand the Shastra. तो बिगिनिंग ओनली पाणिनि अष्टाध्यायी के साथ सब कुछ पढ़ लिया हमने. Then from the age of 18 also, we have started directly studying Upanishads, Brahma Vidya. More priority to that. Along with that, other portions of Veda, wherein some yajnas, other swakarma dharma we have to do, that swadharma karma, we do that also. ऐसे लगातार 10 जिंदगियां हमने जी. उसके बाद यू कैन सी इन द 10th 11th लाइफ वी आर इनटू दैट हाईएस्ट. ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट करना है, ऐसा इमेजिनेशन, ऐसा प्रोजेक्शन इमेजिनेशन है. बट दिस इज व्हाट टेक्स अस बैक टू द रियलिटी. If this is not done with the mind, with its terrible capacity of projection, we project the other thing. And then we are deluded in that, we go into that. Like in Gita 2nd chapter, only these two things. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Pranashyat. Opposite of it, Dhyayato Bhagavantam Pumsaha, step by step, instead of Pranashyati Vinashyati, Muktim Prapnoti. ये ध्यान नहीं करोगे तो बाय डिफॉल्ट वो दूसरा करोगे, है ना. टू अवॉइड द ध्यान ऑफ द अदर नॉनसेंस and also to evolve spiritually, we have to involve in the spirituality. संकल्पास प्रयत्नास. ये नहीं तो ये छूट जाएगा, उधर फंस जाओ. दोनों नुकसान है. If you don't do spirituality, 2 losses. The moksha anyway gone. By default, we will be falling more and more in the trap of samsara. So too, when we are doing the Adhyatmic sadhana, double dhamaka. One, we are freeing ourselves from the samsara. Second is we are on the mukti patha, mukti mark. Is it spashta or not? Think about it. Okay, in this 55th sarga. Om Shri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Vaashishtha Vishwamitra Valmiki Vedavyasa Vamadeva Saraswati Mata Adi ब्रह्म विद्या योगवास महारामायण आचार्यभ्यो नमः. श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणे लीलोपाख्याने संसार मरण विचारो नाम पंचपंचाशत्तम सर्गः. दिस पंचपंचाशत्तम सर्गः 55वां सर्ग 55 starts with the Prabuddha Leela asking the Prashna. In the earlier sarga we have seen so many subtler things, jnana vishayas, worthy of studying 2-3 more times. Like देखो श्रीमद् भगवद गीता ही है ना, 10 times we might have heard here and there, but वो पूरा दिमाग में नहीं आया. आया क्या? मेरे को तो नहीं आया. उपनिषद में. Then Yoga Vaashishtha is a very rare text. इसको पाठ करना भी impossible. And the books you search out, nowhere in any of the big publishers, these book is only one or two have published. That's it. Publishing ही नहीं है तो इसका प्रचार कहाँ होगा? And who dares to study this 32,000 श्लोक and so sublime subtle? But somehow maybe कितने जन्म का वांछा इच्छा है हमारा. Maybe during Vashishtha ji teaching Rama, we were there at that time. like a बिल्ली और कुत्ता और छिपकली और उल्लू की तरह कुछ थे. तो we might have thought यार कुछ चल रहा है, चलो let me also. So after so many thousands of lives in this life we might have got a chance. I don't know कुछ भी है, अब हमको मौका मिल रहा है. Start. अथ पंचपंचाशत्तम सर्गः प्रबुद्ध लीला उवाच. Why this Prabuddha Leela? Because the other Buddha Leela is there. Who is the Dvitiya Leela? This is Prabuddha Pratama Leela. Prabuddha is again and again told that she is awakened through the yoga sadhana up to Ativahika Sthiti. And in Tattva Jnana she is listening and doubts she is asking. Thus in the Jnana she is becoming more and more perfect beyond all questions and doubts. Then little sadhana, then she will realize and mukta. That is how the Leelopakhyanam, Leela will become Prabuddha, awakened. Through the Saraswati Mata's Bodha. Like Krishna Bodha, Arjuna awakened, and same Gita, when we study, we also get awakened. So to Saraswati Bodha, Leela awakened, when we study that, we also get awakened. Of that first round, we are studying with our minimum capacities. In a hurry, we are not thoroughly seated in such a manner that every shloka with any of the commentaries on that possible, thoroughly mastered in understanding and doing sadhana, then only we go to next shloka. In that way, one adhyaya I will study when it takes 1 year. इस तरह अभी हम कर नहीं रहे, इतना औकात नहीं है हमको, एबिलिटी नहीं है, though that is required. But to reach to that level, this is the beginning, at least to me. For me, a life will come wherein I will not do this much of pravachan baji. I will take a one Ishavasya Upanishad, through that realize Brahman, that's it. अब वहां तक पहुंचने के लिए सब, for whatever the reasons, Lord knows. Now, Prabuddha Leela Uvacha. Prabuddha Leela said, to whom? Mother Saraswati. Both of them are in that Brahmanda, where Raja Viduratha's Shava is there. He left the body. And he has come into the other Brahmanda, into the Padma Sharira, and Yaha ka tamasha idhar, udhar ka tamasha udhar. Now, after this chapter, both of them will travel to this place, to this Brahmanda, where the Jiva came back to the Padma Sharira. Okay, while listening all that, remember it. Brahmana Vaashishtha, Raja Padma, Raja Viduratha. This Viduratha Raja is a Sharira, and all is outside kingdom. Padma Raja is a Sharira, outside all is kingdom. Then Vaashishtha Brahmana is Sharira, outside all the paraphernalia of his friends, relatives, and that Girigram. Inside it is Jiva Gati. Isko bholo mat. The main point is that Jiva, not realizing himself to be Brahman, with his own Chintana Sankalpas, in this way invoking his own Gati. Same is with you and I. Who is that Brahmana or Vasishtha, that Padma Raja? Actually Brahman, reality. Who and you are I? Who are you and I? Also a Brahman. Did that Brahmana or Raja Padma realize Aham Brahmasmi? No. Have we realized? No. Because of not realizing, what is the position he is in? That Jiva delusion. Where are we in? Delusion. What is the delusion? This Dehadi Upadimi, through that I need Sukha. So he was going on projecting. As he is projecting, so his projected thought subtle is getting grossified. So the projections grossified is happening. Other than that, the Desha and Kala and the Vastu, etc., as we see them so real and solid, they are not so. Like a movie on the TV screen. As the projected, continuously the scenes are changing. Isn't it? But none of them are real. They're all projected. as the director is thinking, or the producer is thinking, or the actors are acting, एक movement चल रहा है without anything happening, all in projection. Same way, if you take him as a jiva to begin with, of jiva through his sankalpa only, like swapna, all this happening everywhere. Where? Nowhere. That place only everything. Like where is the whole movies? 20 cinemas are happening, or 20 scenes. Only one screen, no? So in that Ananta Chidakasha only, in some place, if you call it as a place, there these are all happening. Remember, once this subject is understood, that Desha Kala are only Chitta Kalpita, therefore they can mean any way. They are not certain. Like for example, Padma Raja के kingdom से विदुरथ राजा के kingdom तक आने के लिए to Mother Saraswati and Leela, how much travel it took? They have crossed that Brahmanda Khappara, then in between so many Brahmandas, then they went into that Chidakasha. In that Chidakasha, Ananta Koti Brahmandas are seen. In one of the Brahmanda, they entered like the Kida enters into the bear. And there they have crossed all those layers. Then they came to Bhumandala. And in that particular kingdom, they entered into this Raja Viduratha. Palace is Antapura, where he was sleeping. Then the discussion happened, then next day Yuddha and all. All of that where it is, all in the चित्ताकाश ओनली. समझ गए ना? ये सब कहाँ हो रहा है? चित्ताकाश में कल्पित भूत आकाश. So much they traveled na. Where it all happened? In Raja Padmas, that Antapura Akash only everything. So in that Antapura Akash जो इतना छोटा है, how come all this happens? Cannot know. That is why it is mithya. But did you realize it? No. That is why you took it as real. Because you took it as real, it appeared as real. So the experiences are appearing to be real. Whether it is the experience that I am a king and my wife is Leela and we are living a good kingdom happily, then that Sindhu Raja came, attacked, and he has chopped a सारा भी वो reality नहीं जानने के कारण real लग रहे. What is the essence here, therefore? In this way, if the self is not realized, because our chitta sankalpa, from one loka to the other, one sharira to other, one setup of prapancha to the other, we only go. That is called samsara. That is called as janma marana. This chapter, which we are studying 55, clears all these things so pakka. But you have to be lucky enough to be told perfectly by me. You have to be lucky enough. मेरे हाथ में नहीं. आप किस्मत वाले नहीं है तो I cannot talk. Your fortune is a thing which helps me. But if you can really grasp it and study accordingly, it is nothing like that. Let us try. ये चैप्टर को हम thoroughly अध्ययन करने का कोशिश करते. Like we did earlier also, we tried our best. Like the earlier yesterday's sarga took 15 days for us. We never thought, but Padma 14 दिन लगे या 15 दिन. So let us start. Prabuddha Leela Uvach. See the question of ours, so simple, direct, and so valid and required for all of us also. Ki yathaiva jantor mriyate jayate cha yatha punah tanme kathaya deveshi punah bodha vivruddhaye. He deveshi, देवताओं के ईश्वरी, the goddess of all gods, O Mother Saraswati, tat me kathaya punaha. Again you tell me. Please, you told me, I heard, but didn't grasp it completely. Therefore, again you tell me. So, tat me kathaya punaha. वो बात मुझे आप दोबारा बताइए. क्यों बताऊं? बोध विवृद्धये. So that my bodha here means understanding. Vivruddhaya means becomes deeper, becomes subtler, become doubt free, become expanded. So samshaya rahita sukshma gambhira vistruta avagahana is called as bodha. उस बोध का विवृद्धि के लिए भूयः कथय, है ना, like Arjuna also. दो बार कहते हैं, भूय कथय तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वते नास्ति में मृतम हंतते कथयिष्यामि दिव्यात्मभूतयः प्राधान्यता कुरु श्रेष्ठ. In the 10th chapter. In the 10th chapter starts with only Bhuya eva Mahabaho Srunume Paramam Vacha Yateham Priyamanaya Vakshyami Hitakameya. Again I am telling you करके भगवान शुरू करते हैं. अर्जुन भी भूय कथय तृप्ति. Again, Bhuya means दोबारा, again and again. So, हे देवेशी तत्मे कथय पुनः बोध विवृत्तये. आप दोबारा कहिए हमें वो बोध का विवृत्ति. That means again and again when we listen from our Sadguru, the knowledge becomes stronger, deeper, subtler. That is why never give up listening to Shastras from our Gurus. If you give up, then even if you study independently, you will understand only that much up to which you have already reached. Higher than that, only Guru reveals. Therefore, Nirantara Guru Mukhatha Shravanam is avashyaka. So here Leela knows it. Therefore, she is asking the mother. And then what is that? You tell me again. She asked, Yatha eva jantuhu mriyate. How the death happens. How the jantu, jiva, manusya dies. You tell me. What is the meaning of death? Yatha jantuhu mriyate. Maran kaisa hota hai? Second, jayate cha yatha punaha. Again how he is born. You told, but again you tell me. Therefore, of the jiva, the janma and marana you tell. With this, the punaha bodha vivruddhi happens. So, yathaiva jantur mriyate jayate cha yatha punaha tanme khataya deveshi punar bodha vivruddhi. Of this subject, today only in the morning class we discussed. Earlier also many times discussed. But we discussed only the superficial things, the technicalities of it. To greater extent, in this text we see the elaborations. Like what we have seen in other texts or even morning, we have very clearly told, as a Sharira, there is no Janma Marana. Only is the assemblage of Panchamahabhuta dissolving, dissemblage of them. There is no Janma Marana to Jiva also, because Jiva is only entering and exiting each of the Sharira. More so, Jiva is only a misconception, only an imagination, a projected entity. On his enquiry, he will be found to be not there. Third, the Paramatma Tattva is Najayate Mriyate, he is Janma Marana Rahita. So that we have already said. That is what is to be understood as summary of all what we are going to study in this Sarga and such Sargas. But how thoda detailed technicalities, here it will be told. Even the technicality may be in my ignorance of my essential self, separated from that self which is infinite, feeling the finitude in me, I want to become infinite. In that want only, the Manabuddhi Chitta Ahankara Dehadi Upadhis are projected and identified with. In that want only, the Shabda Spasha Prasagandhadi Yukta Jagat is projected and we are identified with it. In reality, neither Jiva nor his Upadhis nor the entire Jagat are there in reality. That is what is our goal. From that goal, from that status to what a distance we have come in our delusion, that we gave reality to the world and Upadhi and Jiva and Samsara, that we don't want to leave it even though we are kicked, we are roasted, we are roosted, we are roosted, we are kicked at buttock, everything happening. फिर भी हम इस deluded world को नहीं छोड़ना चाहते. And in that infinite Brahman, which has no reservation problem, everybody can come there, we are not going there. See the amount, like that Bandar ka example, he took that mumfali from that vessel. And that man, the owner of that shop, giving that beatings only to that fellow. And it cannot run because the hand is caught up in that. Oh, ho ही नहीं रहा. मार खा खा के finally उसको लगा मैं क्या करूं. The moment it left that mumfali, its hand came out easily out of that shishi, it ran away. We are all that bandar. We have put our hand in this bottle of the samsara and holding on to the mumfali of our dehadi upadhi and outer jagat vastu and vyakti. And our karma and karma phala, like that owner giving us kicks left and right. And we are suffering that, yet we cannot come out of the samsara. As long as we are holding on to the mumfali, it's a peanut only. Just drop it, you are out of it. But for that bandar to understand that when I leave it, I am freed from all these kicks. So it took some kicks. We are also, let us get some more kicks of Janma, Marana, Sukha, Dukkha and all, then maybe a Vairagya will come. नहीं आए तो लगते रहेंगे डंडे कब तक तब तक जब तक बंदर की तरह विथ वैराग्य यू ड्रॉप द मूंगफली when will it happen if you choose it right now it can happen when will the bandar can get freed if it wants with the first danda only before the danda fell it has all freedom to drop and go away कोई बंद नहीं रहा उसको वो छोड़ दिया तो हाथ बाहर आता है नहीं आया तो पकड़ गया इट इज गोइंग ऑन गेटिंग किक्स इट इज नॉट दोष ऑफ एनीबडी बंदर का वो छोड़ दिया अपना अहंकार ममकार वहां राग द्वेष इट इज फ्रीड यू डिसाइड राइट नो यू आर फ्री चैलेंज पक्का छोड़ दो सब अभी है ना मॉर्निंग क्लास प्रवृत्ति एंड निवृत्ति वी आर सीइंग नो both in Chandogya and Gita. Mhm. This holding on to that mumpali in the bottle of that monkey is the entire karma marga. Dropping it, that is pravritti marga. Dropping it and rising above all problems is the nivritti marga. Up, both are there in the creation. Full freedom. Lord is bindas. Any jiva takes up anything, he has no problem and objection. You get what you deserve as per your choosing the path and doing the things. So yatha eva janto mriyate jayate cha yatha punaha tat me kathaya he deveshi punaha bodha vivruddhaye. Okay, then Devi starts telling in continuation of the earlier sarga. Like the Vayu Sanchara in the Nadis. Nadi mein Vayu Pravaha Sanchara. When it stops, then the individual who was holding on to that body, which is portly of samskara vasana, he leaves this sharira. Then what happens to his gati? It is given. Here also six type of people are told. Like in the earlier sarga, the three are told, Murkhaha, Dharanabhyasi, Yuktiman. Here also 3 plus 3, 6 are told. Sadharana papi, Madhyama papi, Mahapapi. So to Sadharana Punyavan, Madhya Punyavan, Maha Punyavan. Of all these six, what are the gatis? That will be told in this sarga. Exactly this what we studying in Chandogya also morning class. Isn't it? Karma, Sarvam Karma Adhigatam. That's how the topic started, no? In that, Prana Agni Adi Vijnana Yukta Brahma Pratipattaye. That is Surya Marga. Second one is the without the upasanas, Kevala Karma Marga, taking us into the Chandra Loka. Then the third one is not following Shruti, living licentiously, suffering. So the above two are Shastrokta Jivana, this is the Ashastriya. By all these three things, one is not going to get moksha. Then one gets moksha only through Brahma Vidya. Therefore, to give that Brahma Vidya, in continuation of all other Karma Vidyas, the Upanishad is starting. So why this Upanishad came in that way, the Chandogya at that place? To give the Marga for moksha. Why? Because whatever is said by Veda till that point, it was giving the Brahmaloka Prapti, it was giving so many Prapti, but not moksha. So all those praptis were coming by the karmas, upasanas. And this moksha prapti will come by the jnana, the Brahma jnana. That's the contrast between the Upanishadikta Ukta Brahma jnana leading to moksha and before the Upanishad Ukta Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda leading to Aneka Aneka Loka Prapti. Other than these two, the living life licentiously, also there is a freedom that leads to all narakadi, dukkhadi. All that we'll again study in Chandogya. Same is said in Karma Yoga, third chapter also. Pravritti Lakshana, Yoga Marga, Nivritti Lakshana, Sankhya Marga, Dve Nishte, which are said in Shastra, are told by Krishna to Arjuna. After that, for his Shishya or any Sharanagata person, Bhagavan told, become a sannyasi, through Jnana Nishta get moksha. But to Arjuna he told, you have adhikar in karma, never give up karma. Then Paryakuli Bhuta Arjuna watch. Then Arjuna's Paryakuli Bhava is justified by Shankara Bhagavan. Now, the others who wrongly interpret this Prashnottari of Arjuna and Krishna, especially though it is not required in general, particularly Shankara Bhagavan brings all that topic very tough to our notice to say that be careful in not getting trapped by following the misinterpreters of Gita. Especially here, Bhagavan wants to hint Krishna, Arjuna, because Shankar Bhagavan wants to hint, because the second biggest important topic of Gita Shastra is starting here. What is it? Sadhana part. Sadhya to ho gaya. Second chapter taught the Sadhya portion where we have to reach to Aham Brahmasmi or Sita Prajna Sthiti. For that we have to do sadhana. So at the time of starting the sadhana only, the cares are told not to get misguided by the wrongly interpreting people. My job is done. Keeping that in mind, Shankar Bhagavan gives a 4-page commentary. In that also, this we are going to see. So here also. And then here, like the earlier, every topic, to every question of Leela, Mother was exhaustively answering. That was the answer to her question. But from Mother's side, what she was concluding in every topic, if you are alert, she was saying that all you are asked, all I told you, and all that is happening only in the delusory world. In the absolute Brahman, none of these are never happening. That is our goal. सवाल के लिए जवाब दिया जा रहा है, लेकिन वो अल्टीमेट जवाब नहीं है. अल्टीमेट जवाब तो सर्वम खलु इदम ब्रह्म, एंड द ब्रह्म इज जन्मादि विकार रहिता. इन हिम नथिंग ऑफ दिस ड्रामा इज हैपनिंग. इफ इट हैपेंस इज आल्सो इन बद्ध पुरुष, नो बद्ध हो जाएगा. फिर परमात्मा ही बद्ध है तो हमको कौन मोक्ष देगा? See that. Here we will see this chapter. It has 73 mantras. Maybe we'll take 7, 8, 10 days to study. तो क्या डेली 1 घंटा आ जाओ, आराम से बैठो, थोड़ा थोड़ा एक एक श्लोक का जैसा आज देखें अर्थ समझते जाएंगे. प्रभु की कृपा से we'll have good study of this sarga, because it is going to dismantle, break so many misconceptions and shackles holding on to which we are always frightened about, the death, old age, disease. ये सारा कचरा निकल जाएगा हमारा अगर ये सब्जेक्ट चैप्टर को thoroughly पढ़ोगे. Actually, that would have been already gone with the study of second chapter of Gita, that you are Pragnapti Swarupa, you realize inside. Many a times we are told, hundreds of times we are told, but every time we are little learning, but totally not catching. Another chance we are taking, maybe we may catch it here this time. If not, we'll keep on trying. Even Tulsi Ramayana, in the answer of the 5 questions, every sadhana is told, no? है ना? माया का पार करो, विवेक से वैराग्य पाओ, उसके बाद गुरु के पास जाओ, भगवान के पास जाओ, भक्ति करो, फिर ज्ञान पाकर मुक्ति पाओ. Already told in that terms. Even in the last bhakti portion, another told. Bhagati ki sadhana kaho bakhane sugam panta mohi pavahi prani. So we are always told in all our shastras about mukti marg. But we are half asleep and inadvertent, and we postpone it. We are chalta hai type. बस इधर कुछ पकौड़े शकोड़े मिल जाए तो चलता है, वो नहीं मिल रहा है इसलिए हम क्लास में आ रहे हैं. वो खुशबू आते ही ये हम छोड़ के चले जाएंगे. That type of us. We are not like the Nachiketa. नहीं नहीं मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए other than Brahman. These every day we are studying. So those seeds are sown in us. So when they become sprouted, we may become that matured person to kick everything away. That's called Tivra Vairagya and Tivra Moksha. Then give up everything and do only sadhana. And I wish and pray very soon, today only, we become that type of Moksha without delay and start our journey perfectly, thoroughly, doubtless. Continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Bol Shri Ramachandra Bhagavana ki Jai. Dhanyavad Parivar. Wonderful patience. God bless.